Hi guys, welcome back. This is 2000 Gaming again for another Lost Sword content. Before we start, if you're enjoying the content in this channel, please do consider subscribing. We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. With your help, that would come through. So currently, we're gonna be having the update drop tomorrow. But before that, I have work, so I can't really cover that. But like right now, they have brought us a developer's note. The good thing about the devs, I didn't really realize how small they are with regards to what they're gonna be talking about here in the dev notes. People are talking about this dev note from Lost Sword, and I came to realize that they're very small team, which I do really appreciate because despite them being that small, how they promote their PR on Twitter, they're very active on Twitter, Reddit, Discord. They're very active on informing everybody. So I do really appreciate, despite the numbers, all of the things that they hired are quality. I think they're putting up good contributions to the game. And this is one of the dev notes that I'm talking about here. Developers note, new costume, memorial kiss content, and Q&A, okay? Greetings, Swordbringers! This is the Lost Sword development team. As promised in our previous developers note, we're back with our second developers note for October, sharing more images, details, and answering questions submitted by our players. Okay, so they're really are listening to the players, but to a point wherein not so much to sway their decisions moving forward. Because like again, it's really hard if you always say yes, yes, and yes to the player base. It should strike a balance because at the end of the day, it's still a business, so they need to earn some money again to like give out the product that we're consuming. Okay, so like yeah, you can't be all the time free to play. I understand the business schematics on what's going on with the gacha. Okay, so new costume, White Temptation, and we're just gonna blur this one. I don't wanna get demonetized because I got demonetized from my Belsi video. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you, like, you can look it up. Okay, oh, it's popping out there. It's popping out. ah. So it's popping out. It almost like you saw that there. So it's very, you can see this one in Reddit. So again, a special outfit where Tiamat, the goddess of destruction, takes on a human form. There's like I watched an anime, old school anime, wherein the goddess became human because she removed her robe. Ceres, I forgot, like I forgot that anime. It's an old anime. Comment down below. I watched it on AXN. Anyways, so that's what they are coming in with this. Like she looks human-like in a way, but like I wish she could have been just like a goddess and then wear a different costume. Like almost like monotonic, robotic in a way. But like it is what it is. It looks good. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm not gonna be getting that, unfortunately. So unusual because I like her cold and mysterious demeanor, because like her being human like makes her a bit more vulnerable and it takes away the character from her. That's just me. So they could have made another character, maybe that's just my take. The White Temptation costume is currently in production and scheduled for release on the final update of this month. So we're gonna be getting that. Okay, I'm not quite sure. Is it like a 2,400 ticket or just like less than $10 skin? We will see. And then memorial costume, as you can see here. Okay, the memorial costume are an evolution of the special boutique costume, offering exclusive cutscenes and interactive features. So it's almost like Brown Dust 2 with Snowbreak. They're doing the Brown Dust 2 interactables. Also, you can see also in Silver and Blood, they're doing that Bordeaux. I'm not quite sure how do you pronounce that. Bordeaux, wherein the Fanny is getting whipped, and like yeah, it's kind of wild. So the first featured character would be Ava, and look at that face. Like all of the all of the Lost Sword characters, I think Ava has the one, like the face, the face, right? The one that like popularized. It's a Japanese like kind of fad when you're watching that kind of darker anime in a way, and then you know like that's how she does that if she is in your home screen in your game. Okay, you know what I mean. Okay. Oh my. Oh, let's do it quick. Let's do it quick. Let's do it quick. After special interactions with Ava, players can unlock a kiss scene. Okay. The memorial kiss can also be a custom lobby screen. Okay, so you can interact straight up. Okay, it's directly in your face. The Memorial costume system is currently under development, targeting a year-end release. Okay, development Q&A. So this is the juicy part. So we will be expecting an interactable skin with Ava, and then we're gonna be having the human-like skin for Tiamat. Developer Q&A. We've gathered several questions. All feedback. Can Ran replace Galahad in the next pickup banner? So, like, there's lots of Ran fans, but again, at the end of the day, I would rather have a Galahad because if you're trying to clear content, people would like your mage range team that you have a T5 Galahad as per. A T3 Galahad would be good, but like a T5 would be really, really beneficial for you to pushing content. So, yeah, I think that's kind of good. So, next. Ran is also good. Don't get me wrong. She's so big. She's massive, but like she's a fan favorite. I like her as well. Any plans to repurpose Dragon Tooth or Abyssal Shard? Because again, at this point, those Dragon Tooth and Abyssal Shards are not really useful except on the if you buy the emblems, you know, the emblems that you put in at the last. I'm not sure what's the name of that. Is that a trinket or what? Like I just use it as like amulet or something like that. Because I'm always playing Diablo, it's always the amulet accessory. So since both materials can now be dismantled for gold, there are no additional plans. Okay. If Colosseum ticket limits are reduced to the upcoming rework, so they're telling because they're trying to lessen the tickets from 20 to like I'm not quite sure less than 20, so that it's not cumbersome. We won't be able to test builds and strategies effectively. Rather than simply increasing ticket limits, we're exploring the addition of a friendly match. Okay, so friendly match, that's good. Is a wish list. This is what I like, okay? Because like I played some gacha games as well, and it needs to have a wish list wherein you can target your favorite character so that the probability of her you getting her on a standard banner would be high. Okay, we had this in Nikkei, we have this in King of Fighters All Star, we have plethora of this, we have this in Silver and Blood. Hopefully we have this. So like again, because the roster is getting bigger, so we should have this one coming in. So at least the chances of us getting a Tiamat to T5 is very good. And plus, they're very free to play friendly, and the pull rates are really good. You might get all of your meta characters without even spending. That's like some of the players do have. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. Okay, my RNG is really bad. So, that's a good one. That's a good question. So, we'll be able to use accumulated summon tickets elsewhere because summon tickets are sensitive currency. I think it's better that they need to proceed it carefully. Don't listen to the opinions here. I think they've already been nice enough and they're giving away tons of stuff. This like even on if they're having seen bugs there on the game on the server, they're giving away quite a lot. Like I think it's good to be a little bit like a little this is a good balance. At the moment it's a good balance. I just think that the wish list would add a very good addition to the. I think when they add that I think I'm good. But the only thing that I want is at least we could get more diamonds, not on the story. Okay? Maybe on the dailies. We get diamonds on more dailies, more diamonds on dailies. That's just me. So Stone Raid boss mechanics are too difficult or inconvenient. We're aware that Seriton can feel or so blah 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 blah. They can do a rework, but like again, if you have a good lineup, it's still gonna be okay. So again, people are complaining that the game is hard. It's supposed to be like that because like you're gated, it's an idle gacha. Okay, if you haven't played an idle gacha, this is how it goes. It's not like if you played Blue Protocol, because like I played Blue Protocol and you're gated, really gated on MMO and you're gated. It's a bit weird. On this, they know you know for a fact that it's an idle gacha waifu collector, so you will be gated on the severity of the levels. So you need to just like idle and level up, just like what's happening to Silver and Blood. I'm currently going to chapter 17. I'm just idling and trying to level up, and I'm trying to collecting the waifus. It is what it is. It's a niche genre in a way for people who just want to like chill, play it casual, but like if you want to try hard, you can do so. Okay, you can do so to min max your account. You can do so. Like again, you can't really complain. It is what it is. Okay, if they make it easier, then there's nothing more to look forward to, I feel. So will an adult version of Morgana? They've already teased that they're gonna be putting out an adult Morgana, which is good. How often do you add new content? Because again, what you can see instead of following a fixed schedule, you focus on improving content. Okay, that's good. Doesn't feel like repetitive tasks. Major features such as guild wars. This is what I like, the guild wars. So the guilds are gonna be much more communicative going forward when January hits. Okay. Are regular balance patches planned? While there's no fixed schedule, the balance team continuously monitors gameplay. Okay. So will you add option lock feature for equipment stat rerolls? Currently, like there's already an option like you can lock your stats, right? Like if you reroll, there's like an option. Okay, like there's an option to lock one of those stats. Like anyways, that's kind of very difficult I think moving forward. Why does item recovery or compensation related to recent bug take so long? Why does item recovery or compensation? Due to the structure of our database, verifying logs, like it takes time because like if you inconvenience quite a lot of people, you need to compensate proper modalities of people because you don't want to overcompensate people who are not gonna be like not really um not having that right to get rewarded, you know? Like for example, you grind it in Stonehenge and then you didn't get rewarded properly, so that's gonna be a very bad look. So it takes a long time, but again, the good thing is even though there's gonna be bugs, for sure there's gonna be compensation and there's quite a lot. We've been getting quite a lot of compensation despite the bugs, but like they're very communicative in a way, very transparent, and they want to tell us what's wrong with the problem. So I do really appreciate the devs. Will you change the raid scaling system? Okay. Bugs appear too often. Yeah, it is what it is. Any plans to expand Elemental Stone? This is also what's good. Dungeons or add more ways to obtain them. Not right now, but we're actively monitoring. Because the thing is, again, this is also one of the things that they can gate you with the Elemental Stone. I think this is, it's hard to get it for training, but again, like if they make it easier, like people are gonna be hitting that mark and then clearing content. I'm not quite sure where they're gonna be planning on balancing stuff out. Most likely, this is a good reply on their part. They're still exploring that. Will there be will party raids be revamped? We've recently added auto features. Okay. Will ever be able to view other players' teams and builds? Unfortunately, due to technical constraint, current preset system, the feature isn't possible. Okay. Can we get a feature to costume Stonehenge time offline? Okay. So there are very few. See, how large is the development team? This is the last. I think they made this one as their last. We've launched with a small team of 20 members. It's, bro, like, you've launched this. It's like an indie dev team. It's kind of wild for an indie dev team to get, like, money. I know it's not big money, but like 1.2 million for, and then 600K. And that's just estimates. So they're eating well, and then they added 10 more members, which is really good. Our office has recently expanded to better accommodate the growing team and deliver an even higher quality of service to all sword bringers, which they currently do. I do really appreciate this guys, the dev team, what they're doing from 20 to 30 and still offering us quite a lots of rewards, very fast actions to bugs compared to other gacha. Like, just imagine Black Beacon doing this. You know? Like, I played Black Beacon and look where they are. If you are not treating your player base like really, really good, then what's the freaking point? If you have 100 people there. This is only like 20 people. Okay? They just added 10 more. Oh my god, just imagine. So, like, again, we should be supporting the dev team. They're cooking up really, really good assets, characters, gameplays that moving forward. This is all for the month's developers note. The developers team is working great care to ensure week's update proceeds smoothly. They're even giving us teasers of what's coming in. Okay? Compared to Girls Frontline 2 in a way wherein they give us, like, I feel like in the last minute, this guys give us to us like from the first week going to the second week going into when they put it out. So which is really cool. We'll continue to share news and communicate. They are really good as well of hyping it up. So okay, they're releasing the character. They're not gonna release the skill first, but they're teasing you. And then the second one, they give you the skill, but they're still not putting in the numbers. So once they arrive, so you're hyped. So I think they're good at building the hype. We'll continue to share news and communicate. This lady is hella cute. Oh my G. Proportions. Bigger on the back, please. But again, that's it. So let's see what the, like, Absolute Cinema. 30-person team. See, look at this. 30. I gotta give it. They are doing great for the manpower they have. Definitely going to spend some. See, they want to support devs who are very, very transparent. Even though they're small dev team, they're really good. Okay? Like, bro, hopefully all of the dev team are like this. Mika team should should see what they're doing right now. Snowbreak was smaller. They got bigger because again they got really successful because they listened to the player base. Plus they're almost nearing that EOS, so they succumbed to their fate of changing that gacha, that Genshin model into like a legit 100% pull, which is really cool. That Tiamat, okay, Tiamat. So Tiamat costume is incredible. So, but yeah, I feel my goddess skin would be much better. Eva skin is fire. Everything is positive, guys. Everything's positive. Shout outs to the devs here. So again, kudos to Lost Sword. Kudos to the dev team. Hopefully they bring us bangers and bangers and bangers and continue communicating to the player base and strike that balance of getting money as a business and bringing out what's best and then for consumers such as ourselves. So hopefully you like this video. Comment down below what do you think about the Q&A. This is again 2300 Gaming, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Like and subscribe. Please do subscribe, okay? Let us hit that 5K, please. It's almost December. Help me out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.